Namaste friends, welcome to YogaCandi. I'm so glad to be back and filming for you guys. This is the first video since my baby was born. He's now 6 months old and I'm trying to fit it in as he naps. So I have a little video of him over there just to make sure he doesn't wake while I make this video for you. So today is actually suitable for yogis of all levels, so feel free to join in. But it's going to be really fantastic for breastfeeding mums and great for postpartum as long as you've had the go-ahead to start exercising after you've had your baby. But as I say, it's not only for postpartum mums, it's for everybody. So enjoy and share, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a comment to let me know how you got on. So we're going to start off in a nice comfortable seat. Sit with your legs nice and crossed, any cross-legged position. Close your eyes and we're going to just start by rolling the neck. So very gently roll your head from side to side. Just feeling out all the nooks and crannies. Take your time and follow the breath. So as your ear rolls towards your shoulder, inhale. Exhale as your chin folds down towards your chest. Take another few of these in your own time. And one more. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder and allow your head just to flop to the side. Extend your left arm to the side and place your fingertips on the ground, just adding a little bit of extra resistance. You can always take this right hand and place it on the top of your head nice and gently, just getting in a little deeper. Suck up through your pelvic floor and squeeze as if you're holding and don't want to go to the toilet. So you're lifting everything up and squeezing the belly back towards your spine. Take a couple more deep breaths, just enjoying the stretch. And release, roll your head slowly towards the other shoulder. And allow the head to drop, taking your right fingertips down to the ground. You can stay here or add some extra resistance. Taking this left hand to the top of the head, gently placing it down, getting a little deeper. Remember to suck your belly back towards your spine, lift up through that pelvic floor. Take some nice deep breaths. Take one more deep breath here. And release back to the center. Inhale the right hand up and over the ear, lean over towards the left side, go as deep as you would like to, stretching through the side body, and then take it over to the other side and keep this fluid movement, just rolling from side to side, stretching out the side of the body. And this is particularly great if you are a nursing mother, because I know that we sit in such terrible positions, but it's also great if you work at a desk a lot and you're always sitting and perhaps even slouching a little bit. So let's take it over to the right side and just rest here. So hold your left arm up to the sky, tilt your chest slightly towards the sky. You can always come down to your elbow or stay up on your fingertips. You can place the hand behind the head, try to look to the sky. If you're struggling to breathe, then you've gone too far and you just need to release a bit and come up a little bit. So wherever's comfortable. And release. Let's take it over to the other side. So over to the left, and remember, just be as high as you need to be. You can place that hand behind the head, tilt the chest towards the sky. Keep everything nice and long, including the neck. Don't crunch towards your shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. And release back to the center. However you're sitting, just cross your legs in the opposite direction. And let's take a moment just to roll through the hips. So pretend you're a coffee grinder and really arch your spine as you come back and bring your chest forward as you come forward. Just do a couple of these. And then in the opposite direction, just a nice quick movement. Just to get everything a little warmed up, warm up through the hips. And then bring your feet together in butterfly. Now you can just sit up nice and tall. You can take your hands behind you for some extra support if needed. Your knees may be up here and that's okay. Wherever's comfortable. If you want to, you can start to lean forward if your hips allow you that flexibility. If they don't allow the flexibility, just be where you are today, just sitting up nice and tall. And just allow them to fall down towards the ground. Just allow gravity to do the work. If you feel any pain, then maybe just take a little resting pose and ignore this pose for now until you're ready. And if you would like, you can even come down to your forearms. You can go all the way down to the ground with your head. Wherever you are today, enjoy and feel through the body. You may want to find a little sway of a movement. Maybe you want to be still. Listen to your body and do what feels right. Take a couple of deep breaths and just enjoy this deep hip opener. Getting into those hips, also opening up through the sacrum. Extend your lower spine, make everything nice and long. And come on up. Now we're going to take it to all fours. So come into a tabletop position. Your hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And we're going to do our cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, suck the belly towards the spine. Exhale. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. Take one more. Back to a neutral tabletop. Inhale this right hand to the sky, look up, tilting the body, and thread it underneath the left hand, down onto the ground, onto your shoulder. Now you can keep your left hand on the ground, you can take it to your sacrum, or you can interlace your fingertips, grabbing the inner right thigh. Taking a lovely twist, getting a gentle stretch across the top of the shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths and just enjoy this. On every exhale, lift up through the belly button, sucking it towards your spine. Keeping that breath nice and long and deep. And then release. Taking the left hand down to the ground, lift yourself back up, placing the right hand on the ground. Let's inhale, lift up through the left hand, lift it to the sky, look up. And then thread it underneath the right hand, come down onto this left shoulder. And once again, you can keep the hand on the ground, you can bring it to your bum, or you can find the inside of the left thigh this time. Enjoy some deep breaths. Take one more deep breath here. And release. Placing the hand back on the ground, back to tabletop. We're going to send our hands forward into our puppy pose and place our forehead down onto the ground. Keep your hips stacked with your knees. Extend through the arms. Keep your elbows off the ground for now. And just bring your forehead down to the floor. Keep everything nice and long, and you should feel a little stretch down the sides of the shoulder blades and down the sides of the back. You can stay here, or you can go a little deeper by bringing your chest and chin down to the ground, only if you have the flexibility of the spine and you've been practicing for a while. Then this may be accessible. And take 3 deep breaths here. And release. Lift yourself up. Bring your hands back a bit. We're going to send it back to downward facing dog. Straighten through the legs, and if you can't get your legs straight, just keep them bent. That's okay. Make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart. Your fingers are spread. Send your tailbone up towards the sky and walk your dog to begin with. So just bend and straighten through the legs. And then become still when you're ready. Find a nice comfortable place, whether that be knees bent or knees straight. You can close your eyes, suck your belly button towards your spine, and take 3 really deep breaths here. Take your time. There's no hurry. Wonderful. Now roll your spine. We're going to roll forwards, exhaling into plank pose. So roll forward, suck your belly button up towards your spine, come forward into plank. And you may need to move your feet back a little bit to make plank comfortable. Now this may be a bit tough for you, but suck your belly button up towards your spine and just take a deep breath. Now inhale. Start to roll the spine, come back to downward facing dog. You may have a bit of a longer dog now that you've stepped your feet back, and that's okay. And then exhale, roll forward back into plank, sucking belly button towards the spine. Tuck your tailbone so you've not got your bum lifted, and then your bum shouldn't be sinking. So it should all be in one nice long straight line, everything engaged. Back to downward facing dog. Roll yourself back nice and gently. I'm going to do that one more time. Exhale. Roll forward to plank. Take a deep inhale. And now bring your right knee to touch your right elbow. This is very tough. If you can't do this, then don't worry, stay in your plank. Send it back. Now take your left knee to touch your elbow. Suck your belly button back and back to plank, back to downward facing dog. Get comfortable in your dog. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale out the mouth. Now take a really slow walk. If you can, keep your legs straight for as long as you possibly can. If you need to bend them, that's okay. If you don't have the flexibility, we're coming to the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Interlace your hands behind your back and drop forward into a nice heavy forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Interlacing those fingers. Now the closer your palms are together, the more intense that stretch will be at the front of the chest. The front of the shoulders, opening it all up. You can even rotate your hands so that the palms are facing away from you. That's an even deeper stretch. So just take the stretch that works for your body. Nothing should be forced. You should be able to breathe deeply, enjoying the stretch. Take a few deep breaths. Release the hands, stay in your forward fold, and inhale, halfway lift hands to your thighs or to your shins and look up. Exhale, fold. Grab onto the opposite elbows with each hand and just hang heavy. You can always rock a little yes and a little no if that feels good. Become still and just hold on to each elbow. Everything really heavy, your head hanging heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need to. There's no competition. Take one more deep breath here. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. And now inhale into standing. Roll your spine nice and slowly, inhaling the hands to the sky. And look up as your palms touch. Hands back down to the sides of the body. Now we're going to do a bit of core by standing. So this is going to be tough. Just do the variation that works for you. Inhale, lift your left leg. You can stay here and you can place your hand on your knee, suck your belly button towards your spine. If this is enough, just be here. With time, you'll build the strength. If you have the strength, straighten your leg. Maybe even let go of the leg and hold it just for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Bring it down. Same with the opposite leg. Lift it up. You can just stay here holding the knee. You can extend the leg and take your 3 deep breaths wherever you are. Look at something that isn't moving. 2, nice deep breath. 3 and down. Once again, inhale, lift this left leg. Keep the knee bent this time and step back. Take a nice deep step into our crescent lunge. Sink deep into the hips so that your knee is in line with your heel. Keep everything at a nice right angle. Hips are facing forward. Inhale, hands to the sky and look up. You can stay here, just taking a few deep breaths. You can go deeper by coming onto your tippy toes of the front foot, whichever works for you. Look up, couple of deep breaths, feeling that lovely stretch here in the left leg. At the front, the psoas muscle. And release the hands to the sides of the body. Open up to warrior 2. Opening the arms out nice and wide, looking beyond the right fingertips. Bend deep into this right leg. Make sure that back foot now, you're pressing into the knife edge of the foot. So the foot is at a 90-degree angle to the back of the mat. The front foot and toes are facing forwards. Your arms are opening out wide. Your hips are open out nice and wide as well. Take one more deep breath. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, bring your right hand up and over your head. Look up at the fingertips. And then exhale into our triangle. You can just take your hands to the inner thigh, the inner knee, and look up if that's your flexibility range. If you can even bring your fingertips down to the ground, opening up through the body. Your whole body should be facing away from the wall. Look up towards these left fingertips. Take another deep inhale in your triangle. Exhale, meet me back into warrior 2. Sink a little deeper. take one more little challenge, another nice deep breath. And straighten the front leg. Inhale the hands to the sky. Both of your toes are facing forwards now. Hands to your hips. So your toes are facing forwards. We're going to come down for a wide-legged forward fold. So interlace your fingers behind your back once again. We're going to open the shoulders. Start to lean forward. Allowing your hands to fall up and over your head. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, or keep them straight if you have that flexibility. You can always open your palms away from you. Play around with it. You can move a little bit, looking from side to side, just feeling into that stretch. Take one more deep breath here. And release, taking your hands to your hips. Suck your belly button in and use your core to slowly bring you back up into a standing position. And we're going to face forwards back into our warrior two on the same side, on the right side, looking beyond the right fingertips. And come back into crescent lunge. Come up off the back toes, lift the heel off the ground. Hands up to the sky, look up, inhale. And exhale, hands to this right knee. Very slowly bring your knee down to the ground, this left knee down to the ground in our low lunge. You can keep your hands on your front knee. You can take your hands down to the ground and just feel that stretch here in the psoas muscle. Be very slow and mindful about all these movements. Take your time. If this is enough, just being in this pose, then stay here. You can always stay up on your hands, don't forget, if it's too much to come down to the ground. If this is actually not enough, you can always lift the back toes off of the ground. You can take this right hand and grab that foot and get a little deeper into that psoas muscle. But this is just for time and practice. Don't force your body. Just giving different variations for different bodies. Wherever you are, take one more deep breath into this lovely stretch. And very slowly release those toes to the ground if you had them lifted. We're going to send our hips back so that now our right leg is nice and straight. We're in our half Hanumanasana, half splits pose. You can keep the toes pointed, or you can extend the toes up towards the sky, getting a little deeper into the back of the leg. If this is too much, you can grab some blocks and you can be up on your hands like this. Or you can be down on the ground and just have your knee a little more bent. You don't have to have it straight to start with. So wherever you are, feel it out. Take another deep breath. And come on forward. From here, place your hands either side of the right foot. Lift up off of the back knee and step back into plank. Hold your plank just for a nice deep breath. Suck your belly button back towards your spine. Knees down to the ground nice and slowly. We're taking an easy plank now. And exhale, come on forward, keeping your elbows alongside your body. We're going to come down for chaturanga and we're going to do 3. So exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift yourself up. If that's too much, just stay in plank, no worries. Exhale down, chaturanga. And come on up. One more, friends, we've got this. Exhale down. This time take a back bend. Baby cobra, full cobra, whatever feels better for your body. And exhale, come on back into child's pose, taking your bum down to your heels, extend through the arms, forehead down to the ground. Just take one deep breath here. And then send it back into our downward facing dog. hips up to the sky. Hands in line with your shoulders, feet in line with the hips. Tailbone pointing towards the sky. And we're going to do 3 rolls back into our plank. Take your time. On the exhale, roll the spine, coming forward to plank. And send it back to downward facing dog. 2 more. Roll forward to plank, suck belly button in. And back to downward facing dog. We have 1 more. Forward to plank. You can stay here in plank, or you can bring your knee to your elbow, right knee to right elbow, back to plank. Left knee to left elbow, hold it, back to plank, downward facing dog. That can be quite tough, so just do what you can do. Walk your dog, then become still. Now you can jump to the front of the mat or take another nice slow walk, enjoying the stretch as you get there. Come between the fingertips and allow your body to hang heavy. Grab each elbow, hang heavy like a doll. Bend your knees if needed. Just listen to your body. We're all individual. Enjoy. Now take your hands behind your back. Stay nice and hanging heavy. Interlace your fingers again, but this time interlace the opposite thumb is on top. It'll feel a little bit abnormal, a little bit unusual, but it's just so that we can do alternatives to what we've already done. And we're going to take the arms up and over, allow them to fall up and over the head. Become heavy, and remember you can keep the palms together, you can open them out, you can turn the hands so that the palms are facing away from you. Play around with it, find something that feels good for you. 1 more deep breath here. And slowly release the arms. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Pull yourself closer towards your legs if that's possible. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, and we're going to take it back into chair pose. So scrape your fingertips along the ground. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Sending your bum back as if you're about to sit into a sofa. Hands above the head. Just hold it just for 1 breath. And then inhale, come up to standing. Look as your palms touch and bring them down to the side body. We're going to be lifting our feet once again like we did before. Just do what feels right for you. Inhale, lift the left leg. You can just keep it up like this. You can hold the knee or leave it. Keep it bent. Or straighten the leg. Just take 1 breath and release. Same with the other leg. Inhale, lift the knee. You can stay here, hold the knee or straighten. Inhale and down. Now lift up through the right leg again, and we're going to take a nice big step back into a crescent lunge. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. Bend down into the front leg, keeping everything at a nice 90-degree angle. The knee should not exceed the toes. So that knee at the front here should be always about in line with the heel or slightly behind it. Take your hands to the sky, look up. You can go a little further, coming up onto the tippy toes of that front leg, if that feels good. Don't worry if you lose your balance, just come back into it. Take 1 more nice deep breath here. And release. Take the hands down to the side body. Open up into warrior 2. That back foot now is 90-degree angle with the back of the mat. Bending forward into the front knee. Open up through the fingers, looking beyond these left fingertips, opening up through the hips. One more deep breath. Inhale, lean forward, and exhale, bring this left arm up and over the ear. Exhale, straighten the front knee. Taking it for our triangle pose. Remember, you can just take your hand to your inner thigh, your knee, your calf, or if you have the flexibility, all the way down to the ground with your fingertips. Look up to the sky, keep your body nice and open towards the long edge of the mat. One more deep breath here. And now take another deep breath in. Exhale back into warrior two, bending through the front knee. Open up through the arms, look beyond the left fingertips. Bend a little deeper into the front knee just for a challenge. One more deep breath. Straighten the leg. Back into a wide-legged forward fold. So our feet are now both facing forwards. We're going to come on forward, hands to hips, bending forward. When you get to a point where you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Coming forward. This time we're not going to bother taking our hands up over our heads. Instead, just grab behind the heels or place your hands underneath the feet and pull yourself a little closer towards the ground if you have that flexibility. If you don't, stay up, bend the knees, and just allow yourself to hang heavy wherever you are. Suck your belly button in. For those of you that are more advanced, you can always come into a pike headstand from here. So wherever you are, you're more than welcome to come into a pike headstand. If you're more intermediate, interlacing your fingertips in front of you, bringing your elbows down to the ground. Bring the forehead, the top of the head down to the ground between the hands. And inhale, just pop off of the mat. Lift your legs off of the ground if this is in your practice. Maybe come into a pike, drop your feet down to the ground. Open them back up. And release, come back into your forward fold. Hands to your hips, everybody. Take your time, suck up through the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, lifting up. Back into warrior two. Open up through the legs. Bend into that front knee. Take another deep breath here. And then pop off of the back foot. Step it in line of the leg, of the knee, sorry. Back into our high lunge. Bend forward into the front knee. Inhale the hands to the sky. Take a deep inhale. Release the hands. Take them to the front knee and very slowly bringing that back knee down to the ground. In for our low lunge. So you can stay here with your hands on your knee if this is more accessible. Or bring the hands down to the ground. Allow the hips to sink nice and heavy. Keep both your hip bones facing forward, so don't have the body open to the side at all in this pose. Take another deep breath. Just let it sink and get deeper. If you want to go a little further, remember you can always lift that back foot off the ground. Maybe you can take a little grip or take a little hold of it. Lean forward and get a little deeper if you'd like to. Take one more deep breath wherever you are in your pose. Don't force the body. Maybe slowly release those back toes back down to the ground. Send your hips back for your half Hanumanasana, half split pose. You can keep your toes pointed, or you can lift them up towards the sky for an extra deep challenge. Remember to bend the knee as much as needed. You can always use some props and come up a little bit if that's going to help your body. And then come back forward, bend through the left leg. Place your hands either side of that foot, in line with the shoulders, lift up off the back knee, and we're going to step back into our plank. Hold your plank just for a nice deep breath. And then knees down to the ground. Suck your belly button back towards your spine. We're just going to take one chaturanga this time, so come on forward, keep the elbows close to the body. And inhale for baby cobra, or nice full cobra. And exhale back. Take a nice deep breath in child's pose. Take your bum down to your heels, extend through the arms, head down to the ground. Enjoy a nice deep breath here. And come on up, roll your spine back into tabletop, and we're going to send our knees. We're going to take it down to our bum, take it down to the bum. And now we're going to do a little bit of core work, just not too much. From here, keep your knees bent. You can hold behind the knees and start to roll backwards into our boat pose. Now this may be the easiest option for beginners, so just stay here, hands behind the knees, holding on. You can even straighten your legs, you can play around with that, see if you've got the core to do it. If you don't, keep them bent. Or you can let go of the legs, just extend them up to the sky, hands either sides of the legs. Maybe don't hold on if you have the power. Just take one more deep breath here, everybody. And release, hugging the knees towards the chest. Now come on down to the spine. Just going to come down to our backs. Take your feet hip distance apart. Make sure that your fingertips can just about touch your heels. We're going to take it up into bridge pose, lifting the hips up to the sky. Interlace your fingertips behind your back. And lift up through those thigh bones towards the sky. Keep your head still, facing towards the sky. Take one more deep breath here. On your next exhale, very slowly roll your spine back down to the ground as slowly as you can. Vertebrae by vertebrae, down to the ground. And once it's all the way down, let's lift our legs up into the sky. You may need to bend your legs if you don't have the flexibility, but if you do, keep them up towards the sky. You can keep your toes pointed. And now take your hands to your belly. I want you to feel the power of your stomach sucking back towards your spine. You can hold either side of your thighs, and we're just going to play around with taking one leg down towards the ground, but not actually touching the ground, a few inches away. Make sure that your lower spine doesn't come off of the mat, so everything should be placed against the mat nice and firmly, and just sucking the belly button in. So let's do that. We're going to take our right leg down towards the ground and then bring it back up nice and slowly, making sure you're not moving that lower back. And then let's do it with the opposite leg, down towards the ground, a few inches away from the ground, and then lift. So we're not lifting the head or shoulders at all, it's just leg work. Sucking that belly button back towards the spine, take the right leg down, and then bring it up to meet the left. Take the left down, bring it up to meet the right. We're just going to do one more. The right down, and bring it up. The left down. Suck that belly button back and then bring it up. Hug your knees back towards your shoulders. Try to almost tuck your knees underneath your armpits. You're holding them nice and close to your body. You can just stay here or you can meet me in Happy Baby. We're going to open the feet up so that they're facing towards the sky. You can grab the calves or the shins if that's as far as you can get, or you can grab the soles of the feet, keeping your elbows on the insides of your knees but grabbing the outside edges of your feet and pulling your knees down towards the ground, keeping your spine nice and flat against the floor. Don't allow your bum to lift up towards the sky. Here in Happy Baby, you can find a little movement. You can roll from side to side if that feels good on your spine. Nice gentle roll, opening up through those hips. Just stay in whichever position you're enjoying. You can even play around with straightening the legs if you have the flexibility. If you don't, just stay where you are. Take one more deep breath, everybody. And release the legs. Now we're going to take a couple of little spinal twists. So take your left leg on top of the right. You can take it, you can cross it once or cross it twice as if you're in eagle legs. And then we're going to send our hips slightly towards the right side of the mat, and we're going to allow the knees to drop towards the left side of the mat. Open your hands out into a T and just allow your face to face towards the right side of the room. So you're taking a nice spinal twist. Make sure the twist is coming more from the top part of your spine rather than the lower part of your spine. Take a couple of deep breaths. You might feel even a little gentle stretch across the top of the chest as well as down the spine with that twist. This is wonderful for digestion as well. Close your eyes and just enjoy these sensations. Breathe into it nice and deep and nice and long. And then release, inhale, let's lift our knees back up. Remove the legs, remove that right leg from the left leg. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. So now we're taking the left leg on top of the right, wrap it once or wrap it twice. Send the hips slightly towards the left side of the mat and allow your knees to drop towards the right side of the mat. Now look towards the left, so you're facing away from your knees. And breathe, enjoy. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Inhale your knees back to the sky. Release the feet. And extend through the legs. So now we're going to take our final resting pose, Shavasana, or corpse pose. Allow your hands to extend down your body a few inches away from you. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Allow everything to be completely heavy here. Close your eyes. You can stay here in Shavasana as long as you would like to. I'll be with you just for a few seconds, just to enjoy a moment of peace together. but enjoy it as long as you would like. You can even be here all day if you want. Try to switch off that brain of yours. Listen to your breath, and your breath should be completely natural now. Just feel that gentle rise and fall of your chest and of your belly as you breathe in and out. If any thoughts come to your mind, allow them to pass. Don't pay them any attention. It's okay if they come and go, just don't feed them. Instead, just keep bringing your awareness to the sensations of your body and to the sound of your breath. Enjoy this moment, my friends. Until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this class. Namaste.